Say I love you, 'cause we're supposed to. It's what we use to fill the awkward in between. With my heart aches, it ain't a new thing. I've been here before and I know the words by heart. Over time the sorrow wears and the weather drives me out like saddle leather. Years have left me here to rust, all because two hearts fell out of love. We never needed the silent treatment, 'cause it's been a year since we had anything to say. The spark between us is long extinguished. It's just easier to live here in the wake. Over time the sorrow wears and the weather drives me out like saddle leather. Years have left me here to rust, all because two hearts fell out of love. Over time the sorrow wears and the weather drives me out like saddle leather. Years have left me here to rust, all because two hearts fell out of love. Well, thank you guys very much for being here tonight at the Mucky Duck. We're Market Junction, in case you did not know what you got yourself into.
Old Market Junction.
Yeah,
4 years old Market Junction.
Yep, Mr. Justin Lofton, you turn 40 years old tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow. Not
Yep.
today. I'm 39 for one more night.
Yep, we're
And
going to live
I
it up.
feel alive. I don't feel alive. And
Just
you
barely.
turn December 18th.
Yep,
It's your
December
40th,
18th,
so
40th. Yep, you're my elder.
Take advice from me.
Yeah, it hasn't worked out great so far. We'll see. This is a song that we haven't recorded yet. It's called Maybe the Lights Went Out. Weatherman said that the storm is moving in. I could have told him that I can feel the blast of a cold north wind. Yesterday this house was warm and bright. Now it's cold as ice and darker than a midnight sky. Maybe the lights went out in Houston. Maybe the storm brought down the lines. Maybe you're missing me, wishing we never had that last fight. Can't get you on the phone. Feel like something's wrong. Maybe the lights went out. Never been the kind to be afraid. I won't let a little rain wash away my day. Something about the way this storm is bearing down. It's got me feeling like this house was built on shaky ground. Maybe the lights went out in Houston. Maybe the storm brought down the lines. Maybe you're missing me, wishing we never had that last fight. Can't get you on the phone, feel like something's wrong. Maybe the lights went out. Maybe the lights went out in Houston. Maybe the storm brought down the lines. Baby, you're missing me, wishing we had never had that last fight. Maybe the lights went out in Houston. Maybe the storm brought down the lines. Maybe you're missing me, wishing we had never had that last fight. Can't get you on the phone, feel like something's wrong. Maybe the lights went out. Maybe the lights went out. Because it's our kind of like our little birthday show, we picked all the songs we wanted to play, and so tonight's got a few guilty pleasures on it, and we love this next song. It's a Patty Griffin song. It's called Long Ride Home. And I knew it was going to be cold tonight, and I knew we were going to be hanging out on the patio earlier, and you okay over there? Okay, don't do that again. And I wore all the thermal underwear that I own, and I'm regretting that decision right about now. So clothes may come off for the end of the night. Don't act like you're excited about that.
It's a 40-year-old body underneath there.
There's a lot of dad bod up here. Long black limousine, shiniest car I've ever seen. Back seat is nice and clean. She rides as quiet as a dream. Someone dug a hole 6 long feet in the ground. I said goodbye to you, and I threw my roses down. Ain't nothing left at all at the end of being proud, with me riding in this car, you flying through them clouds. I've had some time to think about it and watch the sun sink like a stone. I've had some time to think about you on the long ride home. Day I took your tiny hand, put your finger in the wedding band. Daddy gave a piece of land. We made ourselves the best of plans. 40 years goes by with someone laying in your bed, say you wish you never said. How hard would it have been to say some kinder words instead? I wonder as I stare up at the sky that's turning red. I've had some time to think about it and watch the sun sink like a stone. I've had some time to think about you on the long ride home. Headlights searching down the driveway. The house is dark as it can be. I go inside and all is silent. Feels as empty inside of me. Watch the sun sink like a stone. I've had some time to think about you on the long, on the long, on the long, on the long ride home. Thank you all so much. We're gonna play an oldie of ours called "Home to Houston," and we had a time in the life of the band. We've been a band for 10 years, and has it been 10 years? Been longer than that? 11 years. And there was a time that Taylor always lovingly refers to as the divorce tour. And that was the tour in which we all were lucky that we weren't divorced whenever we got home, because we traipsed across the state of Texas with the Corey Morrow Band, and all working full-time jobs and taking some vacation days to traipse around the state. And we were gone on and off for, it was like, 2 weekends in a row, and then we'd be home, and then we'd gone another weekend, and then home, and then gone another 2 weekends, and it got old really fast. And right around that time, we had family pictures scheduled, and my sweet wife had all the kids, my twin boys from my first marriage, who we'll sing all about later. And then the kids that her and I have, because I had 2 with the first wife. I had to give her 2 because that's what's fair. And so we have 4 wonderful kids, and she had all of them out in the front yard of this place.
3 is what's fair, by the way.
Well, we did this little operation that's supposed to fix that, and we'll see if it holds. And so all the kids are running around out in the front yard of this place, and I had to leave family pictures early. It was like, get me in, take the pictures, and then I had to leave because I had to make sound check. And I felt really bad about that. And I was at a Chevron station, and I left my cell phone on the toilet roll dispenser in the stall because I was so preoccupied about, feeling bad that I left her there with the kids. And so I had to run back in to get it, and there was a guy in the stall, and I was like, man, I'm just kidding, that didn't happen. But this whole song is about that time in our lives. It's called Home to Houston. Left my cell phone on the toilet roll dispenser at the Chevron, trying to make a show down around Beaumont. every dime I had there at the gas pump. Next day my wife called, said she was tired of living like a sad song, wondering how much longer she could hold on. Can't remember last time I had been home. If you don't take me back when I get home to Houston, honey, where else will I go? You got scared and I've been ate up with confusion, trying to make this whole thing work, with all the miles I keep putting on our love. Got a bad sunburn at a festival we played out on a rice farm. Reminded me of our weekend in Austin. I promised we'd go back sometime last summer. And you watched the kids play. I'm out counting white lines on a freeway. Barely make enough to keep the rent paid. Trying to make it home before it's too late. If you don't take me back when I get home to Houston, honey, where else will I go? You got scared and I've been ate up with confusion, trying to make this whole thing work. You don't take me back when I get home to Houston, honey, where else will I go? You got scared and I've been ate up with confusion, trying to make this whole thing work, with all the miles I keep putting on our love. Miles on our love. This was the first song that we started to write when we were making this last record that we made in 2020 that we so geniusly put out in the middle of the pandemic. No one was doing that, and we were all over it. So we tried to pitch this song or part of it on a songwriting deal that we did in Austin that me and Justin went to, and no one liked it. And so we thought, well, we've got a winner for our record.
Must be good.
Yeah, must be just the right amount of melancholy for us. And so we recorded it. And then when we did the radio tour for the record, they don't tell you a lot of times who you're talking to. And we were scheduling all these things. Well, I had one scheduled that I had forgotten about. It was a phone interview, and I was driving down the freeway. What's that? Oh, I thought you was talking trash about me. What, to the drummer, Tyson? Was he saying?
Only nice things.
Okay. And I was driving down the freeway, and the phone rings, and I answered it. I didn't recognize the number, but I answered it, and it was a radio DJ who went full-blown into his deal. Like, it's an on-air interview in the moment, live on air, and I'm driving down I-10, headed to Baytown. So I'll pull over, shut the engine off at a gas station, and start answering his questions, and he's digging in on this song, and he's digging in on the lyrics of this song, because the beginning line of this song says, California is full of hippies, waiting tables, and sleep until noon. And he just wouldn't let it go. And so I just went right along with him and started trashing California because we're from Texas, by God. So, so I did that, and he's just, the more I trash California, the harder this guy is laughing. And I'm thinking, man, this is going great. Like, I've got this guy's number. Just the more California jokes I tell, the better. And as he's doing his sign-off, he's like, I can't remember what his little character name was, but he was like, this is Cactus, Cactus Jack's 107.4 California radio. California's full of hippies, waiting tables, sleep until noon. The glow of the street lights blaze in my rear view. Drive through the city, pass through the noise, pass through the noise. Broken down, I'm pacing the sidewalk, shaking my head, thinking I'll never change. The sound of the street sweep buries the phone ring. I hear your voice bright and clear on the line. I just called you out of habit, I guess. And I know that you ain't heard from me since I left. There's not much you can do from where you're at. 'Cause I'm all alone on this western coast, out of gas. In the diner, nursing my coffee, just as the sun starts to flood through the blinds. I pull down my ball cap, but I can't keep the light out. Just like the thoughts of you swimming in my head. I just called you out of habit, I guess. And I know I told you last time would be it. I've been trying to outrun the love we had, but I'm all alone on this western coast, out of gas. They say that time can heal all wounds. I don't think they've heard of you. They say with every mile you outrun your own past. All alone on this western coast, out of gas. All alone on this western coast. Thank y'all so much. Kind of trying to take a look around the room here. Were you guys stuck in bad traffic or what? What was going on here? Well, we're glad you made it. Is this your first time here to the Mucky Duck?
No, second time. Justin's cousin.
Okay, I remembered you. I remembered you. I don't know if he does, but I remember.
I remember everybody. Hey, is David Lofton here? Oh my God, it's you. Okay, I have your piano from like 30 years ago.
And you're Jigsaw, right?
No, so you're confused with my cousin. Craig, I think, was Jigsaw. Yeah, I know who you're talking about, though. We'll talk afterward. Thank you for coming. I'll give your piano back one day.
If that don't work, this shirt's coming off. What'd you say for me to tune my guitar? Taylor's got this fancy board over here. And he's got like a $600 pedal on there, and it's got 3 buttons on it. And 2 of the buttons, all it does is tune his bass. So when you turn 40, not that I know, but I'm getting close, right? You start to trim things that you didn't have to trim before. Relax. I'm not going there. But you know, like, so my eyebrows were getting crazy, and my wife had a very important work dinner the other night. And so I was getting ready, and I was standing there, and I thought, you know what? I got this cool little hair trimmer because I'm 40. And that's what people get you for presents. And so I figured I'd trim my eyebrows, and it comes with all these little guards. And I put a guard on there that was just a little too short, and damn near shaved my eyebrows off. But you can't tell with the hat on. Sorry. Taylor just made me laugh. That never happens. This is a Damien Rice song called Volcanoes. Like that, you hurt your knees. I kissed your mouth and back. Is that all you need? Don't build your world around volcanoes melt you down. What I am to you is not real. What I am to you is not what you need. What I am to you is not what you mean to me. Give me miles and miles of mountain, and I'll left for the sea. Don't throw yourself like that in front of me. I kissed your mouth and back. Is that all you need? Don't drag my love around. Volcanoes melt you melt you down. Volcanoes melt you down. Volcanoes melt you down. Yeah. Now for something entirely different. You got to tune up for that, don't you? Anybody ever been to Nebraska? Okay, what's it like there? Did you like it? I hear the same story every time. Nobody likes it in Nebraska. I've never been to Nebraska. I don't think any of you guys have been to Nebraska either, have you? Really? Okay. Okay. All right. Well, he's in the minority. I'm just saying. I'm just kidding. I don't know many folks that live there, which is always, if you're going to pick a place to write a song about, you should pick a place that you don't know very many people that live there.
Good job in California.
Which is why, that's why we had the last song before that last one about California. We don't know a whole lot of folks there either. This next song is called Nebraska. And I don't know anyone from Nebraska, so I don't know how they feel about it. But I bet all 4 or 5 of them are pissed off about it. The spike and lay the rail. Work all week till I set sail late on Friday. Unless a man's love with wind or dust or corn, ain't no reason to stay in Nebraska. And I'd go home, but I don't know a place like that exists anymore. I'd head west or east or north if I could find a smile as bright as yours. There are days I forget that I am free. There are nights that I can't sleep, filled with thoughts of you. You could not stand sharing our lives over the phone. On the road you're all alone for nights and nights on end. I'd go home, but I don't know a place like that exists anymore. I'd head west, east or north If I could find a smile as bright as yours, I go home. I don't know if a place like that exists anymore. I'd head west, or east or north. If I could find a smile as bright as yours. Take the ribbon from your hair, shake it loose and let it fall, laying soft against your skin, like the shadows on the walls. Come and lay down by my side till the early morning light. All I'm taking is your time. Help me make it through the night. I don't care who's right or wrong. I won't try to understand. Let the devil take tomorrow, 'cause tonight I need a friend. Yesterday is dead and gone, and tomorrow is out of sight. Ain't it sad to be alone? Help me make it through the night. Something sad. I don't care who's right or wrong. I won't try to understand. Let the devil take tomorrow, 'cause tonight I need a friend. Yesterday is dead and gone, and tomorrow is out of sight. Ain't it sad to be alone? Help me make it through the night. I don't want to be alone. Help me make it through the night. Ain't it sad to be alone? help me make it through the night. We're going to let Justin play a song since his birthday.
Can I leave my little girl home? You cannot leave my little girl home. Long before I get evil mind and I go and do something wrong. You called my house every hour of the night. Let me tell you something, mister, that's a sure way to start a fight. Why don't you just go on? Hey, leave my little girl home. Long before I get evil mind and I go home and do something wrong. every hour of the night. Let me tell you something, mister. It's a sure way to start a fight. Why don't you just go on and leave little girl alone? Long before I leave her mind, and I go and do something wrong. I'm rusty, sorry y'all. Thank you.
Justin and I have been best friends for a long time. Don't say it.
I've been
I
Matt's best friend for a long
guys.
time. I am your best friend. That's what.
That's what. Yeah, I knew that was coming. The second I opened my mouth, there was one time we were like 20 years old. So this was 20 years ago. There was a lake, Fayette County Lake, that I wanted to go bass fish and camp at. And Justin called me and he said, hey, my father-in-law's got this boat and it'll fit in the back of your truck. And we can take that boat and find us a place to camp up there and we'll go camping and fishing. And which means a lot because Justin doesn't love to fish, but he's up for an adventure. And so he shows up to my house with a boat in the back of his truck that we then transferred to the back of my truck. And I want you to picture this boat in your mind. Keep in mind that we're going bass fishing. This looks like a rescue raft. You inflate it with air all on the sides, and it had like this little 10-horse motor on the back of it. And yeah, like a piece of plywood in the bottom of it, so that it floats. We were 20 years old, poor. We're like, you know what? Let's go. We had a tent. We get there, and it's after park hours by the time we get there because we got off work on a Friday. We drive, to Fayette County Lake. We get to this park. It's got a little camp park ranger little hut at the front that you're supposed to pay your money at, but no one's there, right? So we leave our money tucked on this little slot, fill out the form, and we had never done, I guess, what you would call primitive camping before.
They advertised primitive camping. So when you guys think primitive camping, do you picture a perfectly manicured park with, picnic tables and places to grill? It looked like the woods.
We wanted woods.
Yeah, I was like, that's primitive. That's not primitive. That's park.
Yeah, picnic table, grill sitting there. Lawn's been mowed yesterday. We're like, that's not primitive. This can't be the spot. So there's a spot where it looks like should be a gate, but there's no gate. It's just a cattle guard. And we thought, well, we'll go through that and see. That looks primitive back there. So we go through that little entrance exit thing. And we get deep into the woods that's on the side bank of this lake, and we find a place that looks really primitive. It's really tall grass that we have to go stomp down in a big circle to put our tent.
Uncampable. I mean,
completely ridiculous. We get our tent set up. We make a fire.
A bonfire.
We drag this 600-pound life raft to the edge of the water and launch it and go fishing for like 45 minutes before the sun goes down. We get back to camp.
Here come the trucks.
Well, it was late. Remember, it was like we were almost ready to go to sleep. It was 10:30 at night, and a diesel engine comes roaring up the dirt road, and this guy pulls his truck up to our tent, and the headlights are shining. He's inches from our tent with his pickup truck, shining his high beams into our tent, and we're like, man, we're primitive camping. Like, we're worried we're about to get, murdered out here. If we come outside the tent.
He's got like game warden type clothes on. I mean, he's not a game warden, but he's outfit for someone important.
Would you say he was upset or more bewildered?
He's bewildered. His eyes were like, what in the hell are y'all doing? There's a giant fire. There's nowhere to camp here. We're like, yeah, no, we're primitive camping.
It's like, this is primitive.
He's like, no, the camping area is 4 miles that way where the picnic tables are.
It's like, you guys crossed a cattle guard. Well, yeah, but there wasn't a gate there. And he said, guys, you're on power plant property. And I know it's late, but if the guys come into work in the morning and they see y'all camping out here, I'm going to lose my job. Y'all got to move now. So we loaded the 600-pound boat in the back of the truck, and we picked our tent up and loaded it up. And then we got done with that around 1 o'clock in the morning, and we were hungry. So we drove out of the campsite and went to a Whataburger that was about 5 miles down the road, and we ate whatever meal you call that. And we got back and set up camp in the primitive camping area, which took us another couple hours. And as we finished the campsite, the sun began to come up, and we thought, it's time to go fishing. I mean, we came here to fish, and so we went fishing, and we got back and loaded all our stuff up, and we were the most exhausted 20-year-olds that ever lived on the planet. We tried to drive home, and we made it to a Walmart somewhere along I-10, and I was driving, Justin was asleep. We slept in that Walmart parking lot for 3.5 hours, and Justin never knew that we slept there, and finally made it home, and Justin has never gone fishing with me since that day.
That's right.
She was an old woman named after her mother. Old man is another child that's grown old. With dreams of thunder, lightning was desire. So a house would have burned down a long time ago. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing I can hold on to. Believing this living is just a hard way to go. When she was a young girl, she had her cowboy. Weren't much to look at, just a free rambling man. Well, that was a long time, no matter how I tried. Years just roll by like a broken down dam, yeah. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing I can hold on to. Believing this living is just a hard way to go. Flies in the kitchen, I can hear them buzzing. I ain't done nothing since I woke up today. this living is just a hard way to go, yeah. Make me an angel, flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing I can hold on to believe in this living is just a hard way to go. So, how many of you have been, this is your first time in the Mucky Duck? Wow, that's almost never happened before, sir. Thank you for coming. Where was there another one there? Okay. Sorry, these lights, I can't see. What's your name? Patrick, what's your social? I'm just kidding. First time in the Mucky Duck. Why is that? Where do you live? Okay, no good excuse then. Okay. You're from California, huh?
There you go.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, deal. What about you guys right here? Are y'all married? Oh, damn it. I was hoping y'all were on your first date.
You happily married? I was just joking.
All right, how about that?
That's
You guys
good.
know what it is yet? Do y'all want to make an announcement to everyone, or a little
It's a
girl?
Hey, congrats.
I tell you what, little girls are the best. My little girl's my favorite by far. She's everyone's favorite. She's all the boys. She's their favorite. So my wife just took our little boy Benjamin, who's 8, to Disney World, and I didn't want to go, and Nora is just at that age where she could enjoy some things but not most, and so we decided Nora and I were going to stay at home, and she made a long list of all the things that she wanted to do with me while Mom and Ben were in Disney World. And so the last night before Sarah and Ben came home, I was sitting there, we were eating dinner and talking, and I said, I'm a little sad. Mommy and Ben come home tomorrow, but aren't you just a little bit sad that our special time is going to be over when they get home? And she went, no. And so I hammed it up, and I pretended like she hurt my feelings, and I was crying. And she said, why are you crying? And I said, because you don't love me. And she goes, no, I do love you. And I looked up. She said, I love you this much. But 11 years ago, a couple days ago on November 16th, I was in an arc flash explosion. I've been an electrician for a long time. I don't do that anymore, but I was an electrician for years. I was in an arc flash explosion, and when I first started that career, which if you're wondering how the arc flash thing went, it hurt, but I'm okay. I've got some cool scars, but I made it out alive, thank God. When I started that, the band likes to make fun of my scars. That's how close we are. They think it's super funny. In fact, me and Taylor were laughing hysterically about that moments ago, and no one knew but us. But when I started that gig, I walked into work on the first day, and I had this journeyman that looked like Dr. Red Duke. And it was kind of a dark lit construction area, and the foreman kind of walked me over and handed me off to this guy who apparently is now responsible for me because he's the journeyman and I'm the apprentice, and it's my first day on the job. And he said, how long you been in the trade? And I said about 15 minutes. And he said, give me your tool belt. I had a nice, shiny, brand new Klein tool belt. And I handed it to him. And he threw it on the floor and stomped all over it. I mean, like, tap danced all over the thing and then handed it back to me. And my eyes were huge. He handed it back to me and he said, "Give me your hard hat." So I handed him my hard hat, and he took my hard hat and beat it on the concrete, and he beat it along the studs of the wall and scratched it and scarred it all up, and he handed it back to me. And I thought, man, this is going to suck. And he said, we're about to go to break, and all the other electricians that you're going to be working with for the next few months are going to be there. And if they see that shiny hard hat and that shiny new tool belt, they're going to eat you alive. So he was doing me a favor, and we became really good friends after that. And one day we were up on the top of the building in Methodist Hospital, and we were looking down into the med center. And he said, "Come over here and look down." And I walked over and looked down, and he said, "What would happen if you fell off this building?" And I said, "Oh, man, that would be terrible." And he said, "We would replace you on Monday." And and he was teaching me another lesson at that moment, that I was completely replaceable and that I had to take care of myself and my family. And years later, the way songs come about are kind of ridiculous and crazy, and sometimes it takes years to write a song. Years later, I was in sales, and I worked I was selling a job at a chemical plant, and there was this guy that I worked with. He was a customer. His name was Doug, and his wife was like 30 years younger than him, and he was quite the character. And he turned up. He had passed away suddenly after we had worked together, and everyone thought his wife did it. And so if you just take that story and you merge those two together, this song is called "Coworker's Funeral." He smelled like Miller High Life. His eyes were emerald green. He liked to paint the town red. He liked to cause a scene. Now I'm wearing in a new suit, feeling out of place. Small talk with the strangers, trying to act my age. And I know that all these people knew him in some other way, knew him in some other way. Just outside, everything feels so alive. I guess the world has no time to stop and wait. All the guys showed up here to say goodbye. Rumor is they found someone to take your place. We're all losing this human race. Unpredicted, self-inflicted, man gone in his prime. Now the preacher's in the pulpit, reading him his rights, and the organ moans a melody we sang on clouded days. There's a woman in a black dress with makeup down her face, and I know that all these people knew him in some other way, knew him in some other way. Just outside, everything feels so alive. I guess the world has no time to stop and wait. All the guys showed up here to say goodbye. Rumor is they found someone to take your place. We're all losing this human race. just outside, everything feels so alive. I guess the world has no time to stop and wait. All the guys showed up here to say goodbye. Rumor is they found someone to take your place. We're all losing this human race. So me and Justin and Taylor worked together, and Justin had to take a work phone call. How'd it go? Good. Okay. Good. We good? We're good. Okay. All right. So this next song is one of the only love songs that we have. So enjoy it while it lasts. I'm serious. There's just two of them. So I don't even know if the other one's on the set list. Oh, it is. Okay, so you have something to look forward to here later on this evening. This song is called All I Really Need. Handle on that 97 Olds. I keep the window down and reach inside the door. Ain't a thing in there that they could take from me that I really need. Well, I called your name till I blew in the face, and I broke the moon, but I let it go. Don't come in the color that you wanted. Color me hopelessly in love. 'Cause all I really need is us. A dime store cowgirl, Casey was her name. I dreamt of giving her my mama's diamond ring. Ain't a thing in this old poor boy she could see that she'll ever need. That's alright. I called your name till I blew in the face, and I broke the moon, but I let it go. 'Cause it don't come color that you wanted. Color me hopelessly in love. 'Cause all I really need is us. Keep your eyes on this heart of mine. This wild and it's free. Wrap your mind around the time gone by. Don't let it get to you, 'cause I'll still be here too. Call your name till I'm blue in the face, and I broke the moon, but I'll let it go every time. 'Cause it don't come in the color that you wanted. Color me hopelessly in love. 'Cause all I really need is us. Pack up all your dishes, make note of all good wishes, say goodbye to the landlord for me. You know he always bored me. Throw out those LA papers, molded box of vanilla wafers. Adios to all this concrete, gotta get me some dirt road back street. If I could just get off of this LA freeway without getting killed or caught, down the road in a cloud of smoke to some land I ain't bought. If I could just get off of this LA freeway without getting killed or caught. Here's to you, old skinny Dennis, only one I think I will miss. I can hear your bass notes ringing, sweet and low like a gift you're bringing. Play it for me one more time now. Gotta give it all we can now. I believe everything you're saying. Keep on, won't you keep on playing? If I could just get off of this LA freeway without getting killed or caught, down the road in a cloud of smoke to some land I ain't bought. If I could just get off of this LA freeway without getting killed or caught. Put the pink slip in the mailbox, put the key in the old front door lock. They'll find it likely as not something we have forgot. Susanna, don't you cry, babe. Love's a gift that's truly handmade. We got something to believe in. Don't you think it's time we're leaving? If I could just get off of this LA freeway without getting killed or caught, down the road in a cloud of smoke to some land I ain't bought. If I could just get off of this LA freeway without getting killed or caught. Pack up all your dishes, make note of all good wishes, say goodbye to the landlord for me. You know he always bored me. Playing a few tunes by some of our favorite songwriters, and Guy Clark is definitely one of those. And here comes a Jason Isbell tune. Said it's none of my business, but it breaks my heart. Dropped a dozen cheap roses in my shopping cart. Made it out to the truck without breaking down. Everybody knows you in a speed trap town. It's a Thursday night, but there's a high school game. Sneak a bottle up the bleachers and forget my name. These 5A bastards run a shallow cross. It's a boy's last stream and a man's first loss. It never did occur to me to leave till the night. There's no one left to ask if I'm alright. Sleep until I'm straight enough to drive, then decide if there's anything that can't be left behind. Doctor said that he wouldn't make it a year, but the holidays are over and he's still here. How long can they keep you in the ICU? Veins through the skin like a faded tattoo. Was a tough state trooper till a decade back, when that girl who was our mama caused his heart attack. Didn't care about us when he was walking around, just pulling women over in a speed trap town. It never did occur to me to leave till the night when I realized he'll never be alright. Sign my name and say my last goodbyes, then decide if there's anything that can't be left behind. Slept a couple hours in the pickup truck. I drank a cup of coffee by an Indian mound, 1,000 miles away from that speed trap town. 1,000 miles away from that speed trap town. I'd love to hear my daddy play once again all the songs that he taught me when I was a kid. John Henry, Old Chef, Faded Love, I fall to pieces and on the wings of a dove. Just a few chords on the banjo, that was all they knew. In the eyes of a child, man, his fingers flew. I practiced and I practiced till I got it right. Packed up everything and just took off one night. I made it from the beer joints to the Opry stage. Said the only difference is what you're getting paid. He never cared that everybody knew my name. Said it's all for nothing if you don't stay the same. Well, the preacher cried when Daddy died. Said he's a lucky one. He's walking hand in hand with God's only Son. My faith and common sense tell me the preacher's right. I learned a few chords on the banjo is the key to life. I will honor my Father with these words I write down. As long as I remember Him, He'll always be around. Oh, the pain of losing Him cuts like a random knife. I learned a few chords on the banjo is the key to life. I will honor my Father with these words I write down. As long as I remember Him, He'll always be around. Oh, the pain of losing Him cuts like a random knife. I learned a few chords on the banjo is the key to life. Oh, the pain of losing Him cuts like a random knife. I learned a few chords on the banjo is the key to life. My wife graduated from Texas A&M University. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought would happen. I'm going to give you guys the abbreviated version of a very, very, very long story. But it's a fun story to tell. I got to tell it to fresh ears for the first time the other night, and it's just so much fun to tell looking back on the story. My wife and I will be married for 14 years come January 2nd. And thank you very much. Yep. And we got married. She was still a senior at College Station. I was, thank you. What is this exactly? Weller 12. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Who? I'm gonna finish that story, but before I finish that story, who did this come from? Anybody know? Hey, thank you so much, Tyler. I appreciate you. Everybody for Tyler. Appreciate you. So I just want to, if I get mushy for half a second, I would like to make a toast to a friend who has always said yes to the crazy ideas, who's never been afraid to take a risk with me, who has overthought every scenario that we've ever run across alongside me, who has been the best friend anyone could imagine. We think the same way. We feel the same way about a lot of things. Most of the things that I have done within the realm of music has been in an effort to impress him because he's such a high-level musician and such a great person. So happy birthday, Justin Lofton. We love you.
Thank y'all. Same to you, buddy. Appreciate you.
So my wife and I.
He's December 18th, so we're doing a birthday bash. I'm his elder, which is why he comes to me for all the
That's
advice.
right. That's exactly right.
I'm proud of my young student.
That's why your beard is gray. And my beard's not gray. I haven't grown it out lately. But when I grow it out...
You're young. You'll get there.
Yeah. So I was like in the middle of an ugly divorce, and I'll leave that portion of the story just there. Not at the middle of one. I was at the tail end of one. And on the day that the divorce was final, so I had met Sarah by happenstance. I was the worship pastor at a church Justin was also the worship pastor at this church. We were on staff together. Our good friend Jake Porter, who's here tonight, was the pastor of that church. And I was up there. We were up there doing the music. Sarah walks in one day. I was like, wow, who is she? But also realizing like, whoa, my story is going to scare off anyone with, any sense in their head. Not that you don't have any sense in your head, but so I basically, long story short, I tell her, hey, listen, we hit it off. We got invited to the same lunch that day. And I said, look, I'm in the middle of this gigantic mess. And I explained all of the details that I will spare you this evening. And to my surprise, it didn't scare her away. And so we talked on the phone for a couple of months. And then we went on our first date. And on the day of our first date happened to be the final day of when my divorce was final. So I went to the courthouse and got divorced, and then got in the truck and drove to College Station to pick her up for a date. And on the way there, I was rubbernecking an accident that had already happened and caused a 14-car fender bender, just back to back through Crosby. And the guy that I ran into that was in front of me got out, and he goes, "Man, today's my birthday." And I just thought that was funny. I still think about that. And so I was 3.5 hours late to the first date. I am full of red flags. I mean, like, way, way full of red flags. And she was undeterred. So we dated for a couple of months. It was basically like 5 months of knowing each other, 3 months of dating, and we were on a road trip to Chicago to visit friends of ours, Lance and Paige. And I looked over at her around Beaumont, so not very far into the trip, and I said, what do you think about us getting married? And she said, I wish we had just done it already. And I said, okay, wherever we are at 8 o'clock in the morning, we're going to stop and get married. And we were in St. Louis, Missouri at 8 o'clock that next morning, and it was freezing cold, and we went into the city hall there, and it was the time between Christmas and New Year's, and we went in there and we said, hey, we want to get married. And they were like, all the justices of the peace are on vacation, and that's not how this deal works. Do you have a licensed minister? And we're like, no. And like, you can't do that here. You're going to need to get your act together. So we tuck our tails, get back in the car, and we call Lance. And we say, hey, we are, in St. Louis. We'll be there late tonight, possibly in the morning, and we're going to get married when we get there, and we need you to find us a licensed minister. And I swear to you, Lance goes, okay, and he hung up. And we showed up that night, and he had found a licensed minister, and the next day we went to Naperville, Illinois Town Hall and got our marriage license. And you're supposed to wait, I think it was like 24, 48 hours, something like that. We didn't do that. We took the marriage license and raced to the town square, and we were in the second floor of the Barnes & Noble, and I was on the phone with Lance, and he was like, I got the minister, where do you want to meet? And I looked through the window, and there was this martini bar on the little town square, and I said, let's meet there. So we get there, and upon entering the martini bar, we realized this place is too nice for us. We can't afford anything on the menu. Like, none of us can afford anything on the menu, so we all shared a plate of appetizers and a bottle of champagne, and like drained all of our wallets. And Bob, our licensed minister, signed the marriage certificate, and we got married. And on the way home, I told, I think Justin's about the only person I told for a good long while, and that was. Many months after that of us, me going back and forth to College Station, she had to finish school, and I had to sell this house I was living in that I still had from the divorce, and it was around that 2008, 2009 financial crisis where all of the home prices had gone down and it couldn't sell anything, and I was at my wit's end right around the time she was going to move down from College Station, and we had picked out an apartment. And we found out that we had a buyer for the house. And I said, great. So on May 14th, the day before closing, I moved all of my stuff out, which consisted of a couple of lawn chairs and a backpack of clothes, and moved into this apartment. And I got a phone call on May 15th that said, hey, the deal fell through. And I was just done. I was at the end of my rope. I didn't know what else to do. I was just going to let the house go. And then on top of all that, everyone who had found out that we had gotten married was either excited or upset. And we had to have a ceremony to kind of appease everything. And so we had the ceremony. And we were on our honeymoon and found out that that the deal was going to go through. We finally had a buyer, and we got home and sold the house and lived happily ever after. Your blue cotton dress blowing in the wind burned an image in my mind too deep to fade. The callus on my hands grew me into a man. It broke my pride and saddled me with age. If we make it out alive, the sun is gonna shine for the rest of our lives, our lives, our lives. I kiss your lips goodbye like a candle in the night. They sparked a flame to light my way to dawn. This road has worn me thin, a broken promise of a friend got me counting down the days there on the wall. If we make it out alive, the sun is gonna shine for the rest of our lives, our lives, our lives. Don't look back now, we're gaining ground. Just hold on tight, this might be our last go round. And if we make it out alive, the sun is gonna shine for the rest of our lives, our lives, our lives. If we We're going to do a Ray LaMontagne tune. Cocaine flame in my bloodstream, sold my coat when I hit Spokane. Bought myself a hard pack of cigarettes, the early morning rain. Lately my hands, they don't feel like mine. I've been stung with dust and blind. Held you in my arms one time, lost you just the same. Jolene, I ain't about to go straight. It's too late. I found myself face down in the ditch, with booze in my hair, blood on my lips. A picture of you holding a picture of me in the pocket of my blue jeans. Oh, still don't know what love means. Still don't know what love means. Jolene, so long since I've seen your face, or felt a part of this human race, living out of this here suitcase way too long. Man needs something he can hold on to, a 9-pound hammer or a woman like you. Either one of them things will do. Jolene, I ain't about to go straight. It's too late. I found myself face down in the ditch, with booze in my hair, blood on my lips. A picture of you holding a picture of me in the pocket of my blue jeans. Oh, still don't know what love means. Still don't know what love means. Jolene, ooh la 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 la. Jolene, ooh la 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 la. Jolene. Thank you guys so much. You know, for the past 11 years, the band has had, we haven't really had fans, we've had friends. And we've had folks that have just kept coming back over and over again to shows. And we've eventually become friends with all of those people. And it's been a really special, cool thing for us. So we're going to play you guys one more tune. And then we're going to get out of your hair. But I want to thank you so much for coming and helping us celebrate our birthdays. Here's a Billy Joe Shaver tune.
There you go.
gonna miss me when I'm gone. Nobody here will ever find me, though I will always be around. Just like the songs I leave behind me, I'm gonna live forever now. I'm gonna live forever. I'm gonna cross that river. I'm gonna catch tomorrow now. I'm gonna live forever. I'm gonna cross that river. I'm gonna catch tomorrow now. Fathers and you mothers, be good to one another. Please try to raise your children right. Don't let the darkness take them. Don't make them feel forsaken. Just lead them safely to the light. When this old world is gonna sunder and all the stars fall from the sky, remember someone who really loves you. We'll live forever, you and I. Yeah, I'm gonna live forever. I'm gonna cross that river. I'm gonna catch tomorrow now. I'm gonna live forever. I'm gonna cross that river. I'm gonna catch tomorrow now. This whole world is gonna sunder and all the stars fall from the sky. Remember someone who really loves you. We'll live forever, you and I. Sing it with us. I'm gonna live forever. I'm gonna cross that river. I'm gonna catch tomorrow now. I'm gonna live forever. I'm gonna cross that river. I'm gonna catch tomorrow now. Thank you guys so much. So there's this thing that's going to happen here in a second where that light's going to come back on. And that shall prompt us to play one more song. I don't know if we're quite prepared for that. Are we? Yeah, we'll do another old one, but we're not quite